Hey everybody, welcome back to Superman Crypto, your host Superman in the house. We're going to have another crypto update around Zen ecosystem. And of course, let's get straight into it. Don't forget to smash the subscribe button, hit the like button on the way in. Let's do it. And of course, here we are with the Zen price on Ethereum. And drama. Look at the chart today. Massive doji here and big sell-off by a big whale. Obviously, Richard Hart has announced Pulsechain is going to be launching within the next 7 days. And one of the big whales there sold off their Zen to switch into Hex. So we've got here the price got down all the way down to $13.99, which is pretty crazy. You can see that back here. Huge sell-off there, but bounced all the way back up to 2622. And of course, in the lead up to the launch of Fenix on the 13th and expected XenDoge still on the 20th. So pretty interesting stuff there. And we may see a nice little rally up into this move. We will see how much Zen gets burned. Obviously, we've got Zen NFTs, we've got DBZen burning Zen, and then, of course, Fenix coming up, and then XenDoge, and then there's quite a few other protocols lining up as well. So interesting times. Let's have a look at the address. This was the address here. And, of course, it sold down its Zen and moved into from Hex from the looks of it. Looks like they picked up some Hex earlier. And 1 hour ago, picked up the Hex. They sold off the Zen and picked up some Hex there. That was the big whale. So let's have a quick look at what they sold down. It was all the way back down here at $13.99. So we're going to scroll all the way back down, have a look, a little nosy. Here it is here. So they sold 118 billion Zen and $250,000 and bought some Hex with that. All right, let's move on from that though and get into where the market is at the moment. So down 11% on 24 hours. But up 38% in the last hour. A nice little rebounce there, as you can see. 1.4 million buy, over 1.2 million sell on there, says, but we've still got 1.4 million liquidity. And of course, we're counting it down. Only a couple of days to go. So if we include today, looks like we've got 2-3 days to go until the 13th. So depending on your time there, so about 3 days to go. And the Phoenix is coming up, and then XenDoge on the 20th. So let's move on to the dashboard. We've got 9.9 trillion in circulating supply, not hit the 10 trillion yet. And our staking looks pretty similar to yesterday, 1.64 trillion. And let's have a look at the burners here. Zen NFTs, DBZen, Zen Knights, and of course we're waiting for Fenix to launch on the 13th in about 3 days' time. So looking pretty good there. Burn yesterday, DBZen was 39 on the 10th. So 39 billion Zen burned, and 39 the other day before. So it's not too bad actually. A little pickup there with the gas prices pulling down, which is nice to see. We can see the burn rate here as well at the moment. Let's scroll down to the, where we're going here. We're going to go down to the cost. So the cost of new mints has definitely come down around $9. You can see that's come off of $14. Our supply numbers, 39 billion burn. 7 billion came out of staking of Zen. So that's down slightly from yesterday. So we've got net additions to liquidity of 55 billion Zen for the 10th of May. And of course, our supply there, 59.69% of liquid supply, not quite back at 60%, but definitely up from 56%. And looking at the, the next 30 days, we can see that we've got low mints coming out. Well, not low, but modest mints, 75 billion, then high mint, 117. Then we're getting into our two twin mints, over 330 billion each. And of course, we've got Phoenix, though, launching on the 13th. And then we've got on the 20th expecting to have the XenDoge. So perfect timing. Let's see how we get on there. All right, let's jump over to DBZen, have a little bit closer look. You can see on the DBZen chart that we have definitely lifted with the lower gas prices around the 39 billion. But of course, we want much higher. And hopefully Phoenix and XenDoge will help with that. Looking at the current cycle, we've got a few in there already with some low burns. So 2,000, 1,200 bucks with 160,000 rewards. So you know that stuff's going to come in for today's current cycle, which is pretty low at the moment. Only 137 million, pretty low. We've got 12 and a half hours to go until that closes off. So stay tuned for that. But total burn on through DBZen has been 3 trillion, which is pretty amazing. Let's jump over to Polygon and M Phoenix here. It looks like we've come off the bottom a little bit here. So it looks like we've bounced off on the bottom. We're down at 2,800, and of course we're now back up around about 3,200. So we may have very well hit the bottom here. Let's see. I don't want to count all the eggs at once. It's early days. We need a bit more of a move up, but definitely looks potentially like we may have found a bottom. Up 10.5% on 24 hours. 54 buy trades over 19 sells. That's a positive sign. And $2,200 buy volume over 1.7 thousand sell, but only 11,000 liquidity. So very small pool. But we will see how we go here on Polygon. Having a look at the actual burn today, we're up to 92 billion burn today in the current cycle for Fenix. And of course, we've had a total of almost 6.8 trillion burn through the Fenix protocol. Not too bad at all, not too bad, which is pretty neat. That leads us on into the MZN price with all the burn, where it actually looks like possibly we're off the bottom there, around 3,000. We're currently up at 3,500 almost. We've got 349 buys over 178 sells, and the buy volume 34K over 25K with 87,000 in liquidity, up 11% for 24 hours. So we may get a bit of a reprieve here on that Fenix, but early days. And of course, M Fenix there needs a lot of work to get that moving. Joe Blau there's posted some more information around the Fenix and the lead up to the Ethereum launch, which is the big one. We've heard a lot of feedback around understanding how Fenix protocol works, so we've created a calculator to play around with the stakes and rewards pool. And of course, you can see it here, fenixcalc.com. So we're going to hit on that, and you can see the link there. So reward pool, you can play around with this Fenix and the term that you're going to put in, which is pretty cool. So you can play around with that. And yeah, cool. It's got some examples in there too. The stakes with all the details and some of the amount that you put in there and the reward pool, whatever that is. So very, very cool. Get into that. The source code for this project can be found here. Pull requests are welcome as well on GitHub there. So it's pretty cool. I'm going to spread that around. And let's have a quick look at some of the details. Very, very cool. So got lots of people asking questions in there. So get in there and ask Joe some questions if you've got any. But that is it, fenixcalc.com. I'll leave that in the video description. Finally, let's jump over to the Unisat and the token. It seems that the Vampire token, VMPX, is still holding number 3 spot there after ordinals. And let's see here. This is the latest. Let's have a look at the latest trades. Let's have a look at the latest. They're listed, sold. Let's have a look here. So last trades 707 sats per VMPX. So give you an idea, 4,200 sold. That was about $1,818 US. So those are the sort of last prices there. Been floating around about 600 to 700 from the looks of it, based on all the latest trades. It used to be much higher than that, I believe. Yeah, so we had 1,000 back ages ago. What else there? Let's go to page 5. Let's go to page 272. So yeah, definitely was getting pretty high, 300-400. So you can go through and have a look at all the solds, but lots of stuff sold there. And the lowest, cheapest one at the moment is 740 sats. So that's the cheapest there. That would cost you $212 for 1,050 VMPX. So that is Jack Levins. He's been tweeting a lot about that sort of stuff around Bitcoin. Yeah, so that's kind of cool, integrating that for X1 and XN credits, no doubt. So I hope you guys enjoyed that quick update. Don't forget to also PLS for Pulsechain is about to launch within the next 7 days. So if you want to pick up the PLS token there on the PLS token on the market, then definitely have a look for that. Let's have a look here. Hopefully it's going to come up. I'm not sure why that's not coming up there. Let me refresh. Let me refresh the browser. And let's put it in there. So if you want to pick up Pulsechain before it launches, definitely, it's up 7% as well. The cheapest one is 7 sats. So 100,000 units will cost you $192. Total supply is 21 million. So that's a pretty good amount that you're getting for your dollars there. Early days, of course, and of course a soft launch. So Pulsechain's about to launch. These could become more valuable. And of course, not financial advice, but pretty neat there. Let's have a look at some of the last sales there as well. What do we got here? 7 sats, 6 sats. So it seemed to be the current price range at the moment. I think the all-time high has been 10 sats back here. So definitely pretty cool. $sign PLS. So check that out. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Zen at the moment at 2,600. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take care, everybody, and see you then.